You too. What up? Right now we got It Is What It Is, which is one of my favorite podcasts slash analysts, whatever you want to call it, with Cam and Mase and Stat. You know, I love their show. You know what I'm saying? As I was listening to it while I was at work this morning, they was talking about the halftime show by Kendrick, which I thought was great, by the way. You know what I'm saying? While I was, just a little backstory to give y'all some context. When I was watching the Super Bowls, I was at my crib. I was planning for just to be me, my girl, and shit. But everybody started calling me, so next thing you know, I got like 5 motherfuckers in the crib, and we chilling, drinking, doing what we do. Niggas smoking, niggas doing what they do, right? So I'm kind of, I'm in my zone. You know what I'm saying? So as we're watching the game and witnessing this ass whooping, we decided to calm down once the halftime performance began, and the thing that caught my eye immediately was Samuel L. Jackson cosplaying as Uncle Sam. So I knew, even though I was like, that's interesting, I really couldn't function, or I could function, but I wasn't in the mind state to try to break everything down as I was watching it right then and there. So the next day, or Tuesday, I decided to finally watch the halftime performance. After I'm gonna play this, well, I'm gonna play it, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But to see where the shit's coming from, 'cause a lot of motherfuckers got mixed reviews. The white motherfucker, the racist white motherfuckers, that's like, man, I'm tired of this ghetto shit. It wasn't for them, you know what I'm saying? And the crowd, like, you know, the mic, like, a minor, that shit would have been way louder if it was like, of course, motherfuckers that go to the Super Bowl, it's the elites, or just motherfuckers who got money. A lot of motherfuckers, they ain't got that kind of money, so they watching that shit at the crib. But shit, I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. I think that Kendrick Lamar's performance was top 10. Honestly, the best as far as the message. But besides the message, well, I'm gonna take that out of it. The best to me is Michael Jackson, even though I wasn't allowed to see it. I remember watching it as a kid, and sometimes every blue moon, I'll just look it up and watch it. So, that nigga Michael Jackson wasn't doing nothing but standing for like 5 minutes straight, and they couldn't stop cheering. So that's just a different kind of aura, you know what I'm saying? But imagine if Michael Jackson was still alive and he did an interview, bro. That shit would go crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to this shit, man. But they got to talking about revolution. But shit, I'm gonna let y'all hear that shit. Get doing up there. See, there you go. All right, let me do it one more time.
The deal or trying to get a deal or
for me, because I was actually in the same suite as her, and she got up and left, and we were wondering where she went. She went down to do the performance. I think it tied in a lot of things that if you got.
I'm gonna go ahead and say what I took from Kendrick Lamar's performance. Basically, this life shit is a game, and us as black folks, we gotta participate in that game. I might do a whole separate video for that one day, but I gotta come up with a script, because even though I got a lot of thoughts in my head, I can't just freestyle it. I just can't. When it comes to shit like this, I feel like that's really, really important. I can't freestyle. I need to write that shit down. But anyways, what I took from the performance was, because he did like the Squid Game joint. This life is a game for black folks in particular. Like, as these jobs, like, no cap, I swear, right hand to God, bro. So we were supposed to get a $2 raise. The company was giving us a $2 raise, but I only got $1. And the supervisor that I've been dealing with, one of the things he told me was, man, I just feel like you're aggressive. Even though I'm to myself, I really don't talk to people like that at my job, because I know how it go. I'm one of the only black motherfuckers. I'm one of the only black dudes at that job. And one of the things he told me was, I'm aggressive, even though I don't talk much. So my mom's always told me growing up, like, just give them a little bit of something. You ain't gotta tell them your whole life story, but just give them a little something so they'll be comfortable around you, so you won't become a target. And y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all know what I mean by that. You just can't just be blatant, be yourself. And then Samuel L. Jackson, after after some other songs, he was like, "Nah, man, that's too loud. That's too loud. Give the people what they want." So then he'll play "Humble," DNA, and then he'll try to do he did like a little freestyle. He was like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah." So I got exactly what they was doing. Like I got it. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I had to watch it, separately from the Super Bowl show. You know what I'm saying? What was that, Sunday? I watched it today and I understood exactly what was going on. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Do I wish he would have played a couple of more hit records? Yeah, because he got plenty. But do I wish he would have brought Future out or something like that? Yeah. But the message, he felt like the message was more important. And I dig it. And it's going to age like fine wine, I'm trying to tell you. Motherfuckers going to be talking about that shit forever. Even though, people feel how they feel right now, on my mama, that shit going to be legendary. Well, the shit's already legendary. But anyway, let's get to this video, bro. Oh, God, I'm terrible.
You got it. If you didn't, you didn't. But I think that represented kind of his music and the culture as a whole. So I think he did a great job, but I don't think it was for everybody because it's either you understood it or you didn't really vibe with it because it wasn't his popular hits. But I think he took a chance, and I think it was a cool chance to do on one of the biggest stages with all those people kind of tuning in and watching. So I get everybody's points, but that's kind of what I took from it after seeing it over again. It was pretty cool. But I totally understand where you're coming from, too, because it's like, we ain't bopping, but some people are.
No, I'm not saying you have to bop. I'm saying whatever you're, just like anything, whatever you're trying to convey, you as a speaker, you want to make sure it's clear.
Let me tell you, and I'll use an example of this. Like when I was trying to, on the verge of getting a deal or trying to get a deal, or right around, I don't know, we doing mixtapes, Mase or whatever. And Jay-Z was just coming out as an artist, and Nas kind of was out a little bit before Jay-Z. And I was telling this girl, I was at this girl house, I'm like, yo, Nas is crazy. She like, I like Jigga. And I'm like, nah, yo. And she like, Cam, I like Jigga. I don't have time to go to the club and bring my dictionary with me. I just want to have a good time when I go to the club. I don't feel like thinking. If I'm taking a long car ride, maybe I want to think. But when I go out, I don't need my dictionary with me. And I always kept that in mind when I wrote. There's certain things are for certain things and certain things are for certain things. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
Maybe that's what this kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing I will say, what he did kind of have in there, he said, the revolution will be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. So he kind of said, look.
And that was the same thing. I feel like that was the same thing as far as Tupac back in the day in the interview. He said, I probably won't change the world, but I will spark the mind that will. It's kind of like the same thing, you know what I'm saying, that Kendrick did. It's kind of like me directly is probably not going to do it, but somebody's going to be affected by this. That, you know what I mean? That's what I took from it,
Just
here.
said that 2 weeks ago.
I'm just saying, but he changed it up a little bit and said it on the stage. So hey,
remix shit.
Hey, I'm just saying.
It's always some shit we just say, man.
What's the revolution?
And y'all did just
and niggas play about that. That's what I've been waiting on this whole time. That nigga Mase said, what's the revolution? The revolution is that I feel or think is that we just become dependent on our own selves, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's a lot of fake pro-black shit in social media. I really don't be around enough, I don't really be around a lot of collective black people that talks about political things. So whenever I do hear people really on social media and shit talking about, man, they doing us so wrong, we need to stick together, bro, this bullshit. But my point is, bro, we just gotta be self-reliant, like this DEI shit. Bro, I ain't never been affected by DEI. I ain't never been on food stamps. None of that shit mean nothing to me. And shit, niggas already laid out the blueprint, the leaders, the Black Panther Party, Marcus Garvey. Them niggas already did the blueprint. We just gotta continue to build on that. And I know Black Wall Street was burned down and shit, but we haven't made those strides. And shit, to be quite honest, bro, and I'm guilty of this too. We only worry about ourselves. I got into it, me and my homeboy, we got into it kind of, cause I was like, bro, I get it that one day the world gonna end. It's gonna be an apocalypse or something like that. But we don't need to keep speaking on this shit because at the end of the day, bro, you for yourself and I'm for myself. As in, you're gonna be worried about your family, your wife, and your kids, and I'm gonna be worried about the people I care about. Like that's my first instinct. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people when they striving to become successful, they're only worried about their immediate family. They're not worried about having a impact on the whole community. You know what I'm saying? And it's quite simple. We just make a whole parallel of what the main media is doing, grocery stores, tire shop, whatever, whatever we need in the civilian world. And we just stay to ourselves. We don't hate nobody. We do us. Mexican Migos doing it right in Southwest, bro. They been doing this shit. So we did something similar, but we'll be unstoppable, man. That's the revolution to me. You know what I'm saying? None of the, we're not to find a leader through music, like through the end of like basketball and sports in general and rappers. Stop looking in that direction. They're entertainers. That's what they do. That's what they get paid for. You know, them boys is not trying to lose their paper to spark a revolution. They're not doing that. The closest that's probably talking about shit like that is Jalen Brown. That's why I kind of fuck with him. Well, that's why I do fuck with him. But even him, I feel like he'll do only so much because he still has to keep the main thing, so he can keep that money. You know what I'm saying?
Say that.
Nah. And this is not Kendrick. What's the revolution? I want to know the revolution. What's the revolution? Help me out, Stat.
It's up for interpretation. But that's to Cam's point. Not everybody wants to be reading the whole book. But hey, if you read the book, you read the book. So that's all I'm gonna say.
And I cut that shit off at that point, cause that shit really kind of pissed me off. Cause niggas be playing, bro. Niggas don't be feeling that shit, and I can't blame them, cause I be thinking about shit like that, but shit, I ain't got the money to do it. I ain't got the platform to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still educating myself right now. Like I've been reading Frederick Douglass' book. Like I should have known, but he was talking about how at the end of the year, cause slavery, slaves, they work from like dawn to pitch black and they couldn't see shit. And the only time they was off was probably Sundays, and then towards the end of the year, like around Christmas and New Year's, stuff like that. And around that time, slaves would go to different plantations to go check on their family. Some people would be industrial, meaning they'll probably try to make stuff, like the sober-minded, they'll try to make something. Other slaves, which was recommended by the masters or the slave holders, they would they'll entertain themselves by playing sports or drinking. And that shit had me feeling some type of way, cause me, whenever it's a holiday, I be quick to be like, man, I'm finna start drinking. It's only 10 o'clock. Just because it's a holiday. You know what I'm saying? So even slaves back then was doing that shit. Man, I gotta write this shit down, bro.
Let's not.
The gold girl was a beautiful girl. And did y'all see her?
I'm gonna go ahead and document this shit. I'm on heart of hearts, bro. Of course, I want to become successful, but I want to help people and open up their eyes as long as they're willing to listen. I'm not finna force nobody to do shit, cause I'll be lying to you when I be out here in public and shit. If I see a young nigga that looks suspicious, shit, where my iron at? You know what I mean? Do I got that shit in arm's reach? Shit, my homeboy, one of my homeboys and shit called me and was like, hey man, I'm finna pull up. Can Woot the Woo come up? Can the Woot the Woo pull up? I ain't seen that nigga in years. That nigga ain't try to contact me. Whenever I be around that nigga, he be on the phone with that boy. He don't never say, hey, tell Nick I said what up. He don't do none of that shit. So why the fuck would I allow him to come over? So I say that to say this, I don't trust niggas. I love them, cause we the same skin color. But shit, I don't trust motherfuckers, man. But shit, if you want some game, though, I'll give you some game.